sekarang ni mostly people are charging by the minute rather than by the kilowatt kan.
Yes.
And why is that?
Apa
And
for the DC chargers, especially the providers cannot actually sell kilowatt hours, because in order for you to sell kilowatt hours according to the Electricity Supply Act, that you need to have a license issued by the Energy Commission lah, by Suruhanjaya
yeah,
Tenaga. And
yeah.
my understanding is actually like there are some initial discussions with Suruhanjaya Tenaga how to make the process simpler, because the whole, I guess, thinking behind the whole kenapa kena lesen kalau nak jual kilowatt hour ni adalah if you are generating your own electricity, so it's more like for the IPP scale, bukannya for EV charging. So apa namanya, my understanding is also that the folks at the kementerian are receptive, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to make this easier. So actually that's one main restriction lah, because benda ni kena ada lesen, and lesen ni sekarang at this point in time very leceh to obtain because it's designed for something else. I think that's the bottom line sekarang ni. So moving forward, we hope that actually this issue will get resolved. However, there are pros and cons jugalah charging by the minute ni sekarang ni, because at least from a user perspective, sebab we have fewer DC chargers than we do BEVs, it helps to galakkan orang to get off of the charger faster. As soon as they are done, they get off because it's charging by the minute. Kan, as you know, actually bila you charge your EV, bila the top 10% tu memang slow sangat lah. So right. Kalau you charge by kilowatt hour, then you get someone sitting there for, kita nak jalan dah ni, we just need 20 minutes, 15 minutes je, tapi dia nak charge sampai 100%. Tunggulah 40 minit, 1 jam macam tu. So to me, it's actually like, it's okay if I don't have to tunggu because there's 3, 4, 5, 6 other chargers nearby. Tapi kita sekarang, we have only that one. So in order to optimize the utilization, charging by the minute, that's a positive thing about it. The negative.
Do you think there's a need to actually change to charging by the kilowatt? To me, I don't see why.
But eventually we need, because the different cars have different charging capabilities. For example, the Mini is limited to 50 kilowatts saja. Taycan can go up to 200 something. Tapi kadang-kadang the Mini by right actually should be able to use the 180 and get off in about 15-20 minutes max and just cabut aja. But he will get a lot less power, a lot less kilowatt hour than the Taycan in that same amount of time.
But that's why I think, like you say, let market forces play out, because the cheaper chargers, the lower capacity chargers are cheaper to install, right? So therefore you can charge, less time, less ringgit or less cent per minute. And because at the end of the day, once we all have EVs, we'll figure out which charging rate at what rate, then which is the best for our car. And I still think that the minute one is the better one, simply because it stops people hogging. And if you notice, BMW USA has just offered a new complimentary charging with electric,
limited to 30 minutes.
Exactly. So that's that just confirm my suspicion that actually time is probably the best way to do this, and don't worry about the kilowatt.
Well, I would actually build up on that. Actually, in this situation, time is actually the answer. But I would also say is actually that let's give the operators a choice, right? So they can actually say that maybe for the AC chargers dekat Mid Valley, dekat KLCC, we charge by time. So 1 hour is this much, the next hour is this much, and then they can do whatever they want lah. But for the DC, some DC chargers, they may charge per minute. Some DC chargers, they may charge by kilowatt hour. But give them that option. So
I think you're right. Give them the option, and one will see clogging up of the station, one won't see, then they will just
exactly, and
move.
then they will start tweaking the model, and so that is actually where that's why I think that most important thing is actually like kita dekat Malaysia kadang-kadang the pengguna punya community ni pasif sangat, tak bising. So that's why I believe that pengguna punya community, as we grow the EV, kalau benda tu we feel that it's actually it can be improved. They're charging by the minute, benda tu tak clock. They're charging by the kilowatt, benda tu clock. We need to voice out, let the CPOs know. And then fortunately they are, like we said earlier, more than a handful of CPOs. Kalau dia ni malas tak buat, let's get the other one do it. Kalau charge EV rasa dia punya model is better served by all you can charge buffet style, never mind. Let's see what Pak Easy does. Let's see what Shell to Charge does. Let's see what Jom Charge does. So that's where I think it's important for the government, bila government nak regulate this sector ke, to have a very light touch and to make sure that they really know what's going on, to avoid the abuses, but to not also to tamp down the innovation. You don't want to strangle the innovation. Let them figure out what's best for their customers. Because the customers, kalau dia nak, like I said, dia bayar. Kalau dia tak nak, dia pergi tempat lain. Habis cerita.
Exactly.